the chair.
Oh, wow.
It's a voice I've learned a lot of people don't like.
I don't think I like it. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable.
I drink a bottle of water.
It's very uncomfortable. Oh, that is not satisfying, dude. Oh, my God.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks again for tuning in here to another episode of This Evening Tonight. I am your host, River Sullivan, and with me again, as always, Mart'in.
Hey, yo.
Yes. So,
Excited.
this week, we are going to be talking a little bit about things here having to do with survival, to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
And conquer.
The odds. To accept the challenge.
We're gonna channel a little bit of our inner Bear Grylls.
That and that was like some of my Don LaFontaine. Yeah,
Yeah, that sounded very...
One man, one desire.
A whole forest.
All right, so last time I kind of started things out here because we had to go back and talk about Daddy Hideo for a second time. So Mart'in kind of wanted to have a little bit here of this discussion. So why don't you go ahead and lead us off here? What in terms of survival is it that we're talking about?
Well, the whole idea that, I got fascinated with it ever since, I was a little kid. But recently I started playing this game called DayZ. And I'm sure a lot of people heard about it.
That's that PC open world one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's an old game. It came out in like 2013, and I first played it, and it was hot garbage.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of people complaining.
Oh my God, it was horrible. But recently I saw it again, and it had very good reviews on Steam. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try.
DayZ.
I just choked.
Did I put a bag in there?
No.
You throw up in it, and I'll hit it with the hose.
Okay.
Mart'in is a little bit sick here today too, so it's wonderful to be locked in a soundproofed room.
Yes.
With
no ventilation.
No ventilation. This is great.
It'll be an awesome day. But anyways, so I started playing it, and I was really amazed by how immersive this game is. And we're talking about they have a system for everything. So for an example, I respawn, and you always respawn at the beach, right? And there's nobody there. And
like the beach is like the edge of the map?
Yes.
So you start out at the edge and work your way in?
Yes. You work your way.
I've never played it.
Inland. I recommend it. It's awesome. But
is it on console or PC?
It's both. You can get it on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. Can
I have a private server?
I think so, yes.
Because I'll be sold on that.
Yes. This is from the same people that made Arma and all the...
Never played that.
It's really good. It's basically a military simulator. Even I think the U.S. Marines, they used that game for simulation training exercises and stuff.
Arma or DayZ?
Arma. Yes, definitely Arma.
The Army uses Arma, and DayZ is utilized by the CDC.
Yes. So you start on the coast, and then you make your way towards the west of the map.
So you start on the coast, making your way west, or you're like on an east
coast?
Yes,
you go west, and this map, you have 60 players playing in this map, and it is about twice the size of GTA's 5 map.
Can you build?
Yes.
Okay.
You can build your own little base. And
is it perpetual, like on that server, like you build it there and that's where it's at, or?
I believe so. I am not 100% sure.
That's the thing. Like there's other games out there that don't do that.
Yeah.
Like
oh my God.
But where I want a game, if I'm going to do that and spend that time and to build something and log out, I don't want to have to restart all over again. I want it to be there.
No, you can still, because I've been playing the same server ever since I started playing.
Okay.
And but I haven't been that far yet. But I did. I died like a couple of times because I never been out of that coast area.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go inland, and I found it was like an apartment building. So I decided to go in there. My character has nothing. I'm like starving, thirsty, tired. So I decided to go in there, and I go up the steps to this apartment building, huge. I'm talking about like maybe 50 stories high. And halfway there, and I can't go any more to the steps because there's like a little fence blocking it. And you could tell somebody built that.
Yeah.
So I knew there was some loot in there. And I had a little axe in my backpack. Pulled it out, started beating the crap out of that fence. Finally break it. It took literally like 5 in like real world minutes. And I get in there, and there is a lot of loot. I'm talking about locker rooms full of guns, food,
Now, is it
ammo.
like level locked, or is it just you get it, you got it?
Yeah, you get it, you got it.
Right.
This game, there's no levels or anything like that. Once you get it, that's it. That's yours. But I didn't know if the people that own that are coming back or if they're gone. I have no clue. And I don't want to be killed. So I steal whatever I can and get out of there. So by stealing the guns, I discovered that if you want to shoot your weapon, you have to actually find the right magazine for that gun and the right ammo for the magazine. So I found a 45, and I needed a 45 mag with 45 ammo. Yeah, and you have to load every single individual bullet into the mag and then into the actual gun. So it takes a little bit. So if you're in a gunfight, you better be prepared. And it's very realistic. I also stole a water bottle from that guy, and I started drinking it. And my thirst meter started going up, or going down, I guess.
Down, yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is awesome. But then 10 minutes into the game, my character started getting sick and started throwing up.
It was bad water?
It was contaminated water, yeah.
So you got to get the water, you got to purify it, and all that.
Yeah, I didn't know this. And then you had to, luckily I stole some disinfectant from this guy. So I dumped all that water and disinfected the water bottle, and went down to a creek and then filled it up with that river water, and it was clean. Then I stole some cans, and I didn't realize that in order for you to open them, you need a can opener or something sharp. And I didn't steal anything from him that was sharp. So I had to scavenge for it, and I finally found a can opener. And the game is extremely realistic. I mean, to the point where if you're bleeding out and you bleed out a certain amount of blood, you need a blood transfusion. And if you do, yes, you have to find another player to do it for you.
Like somebody's got a live player has to come there, hook up, and be like,
yes, like you can either like hold somebody to like gunpoint and be like, hey, I need some of your blood, man. I'll leave you alone or whatever. This encounters are people role play the crap out of this game. But if you find somebody to do the transfusion with, you need to make sure that they have the same blood type as you. If not, you could die. Yes, yes.
Man, all right. Free to play, or you got to buy it?
You got to buy it. Yes.
Okay.
Currently, you have to buy.
Well, that's not bad to look at. Now,
no.
There was like you're talking survival games too, also in the same, I guess, vein or artery of it. You got not DayZ. We just talked about that. 7 Days to Die.
I heard about that one.
7 Days to Die has been around for a long time. Long time. Like they're in beta or alpha. Yeah, they're still in alpha stage, but they're in like version 18.
Yeah.
And it's graphically, it's not the best looking thing out there. It's like Minecraft with zombies, but a little bit more realism. I mean, there's zombies in Minecraft as well, but this has like, your screaming zombies and the bloated ones and stuff like that. But every 7 days there is it's a horde night.
Okay.
So at like 9 p.m. till about 4 in the morning, you have like your first 6 days and some change to prepare and build up a fortress, build up something. Like some people dig bunkers and stuff like that. And then on that 7th night, they all come.
Oh,
and then
God.
every week that there's a horde night, it gets progressively worse. And you can play it with like a whole bunch of people. I watch the guys on Neebs Gaming play it all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, in that, there's the survival elements in that. You have to watch your heat, your cold. You make sure you don't freeze to death. Don't have heat stroke.
Yeah, they have that. In,
the hunger,
DayZ
the
too.
thirst.
Yep.
It doesn't have. It's not as in detail as you're talking about with DayZ.
Right. I mean, this game is like they have a dryness meter. Like if you get into the water, your clothes will get wet and you can get hypothermia. If you're carrying a backpack and you get shot in the back, most of the items that you have in that backpack will probably.
Okay, the backpack thing is definitely not in 7 days.
They will be damaged.
Like they have the wet, dry, damp thing, like the different stages of hypothermia. Like, but they don't really show it a lot. They just kind of it says it on the screen. It says you're experiencing hypothermia, stage 1. Find shelter, build a fire, stuff like that. But
and Also, I forgot to mention, in order for me to cure my character from that cholera, I had to take some alcohol, like you know what I mean, like raw alcohol, and I took some multivitamins and stuff, and it cured my character. But it was so freaking realistic, man. Like it blew my mind. I wasn't expecting that kind of detail.
Yeah, it's weird that a lot of us will get a game as the escape to our real life, but the more lifelike and realistic the game is, the better for us it is to get lost in.
Right, and it makes you. I never actually played a game to where I had to think before doing anything. I mean, to the point where I was like pretty much scared of just walking into the woods, because I'm walking down into the woods and I hear a deer calling out, and I was like, "What is that?" And there is zombies in this game, you know, but they're not. They're pretty much in the city, and it's a rare. If you're out in the woods, it's a rare encounter. And they're not that dangerous.
You more have to worry about other players out in the woods.
Oh, absolutely.
But in the city, are we talking like you can get overrun, or?
Yeah, you can. You're fine, but they can overwhelm you. But it's not. It's a little bit more realistic. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're climbing the walls or anything. They're chasing you, but it's not.
I like how we say realistic for something that's never really occurred yet.
So anyway, I was I decided, I found this deer, and the deer didn't notice that I was there. And so I was aiming at this deer, but then I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, if I shoot this thing, other players can hear the shot, and they're gonna come to see what happened. And then I check on my inventory. I didn't have any sharp objects to get some meat from this animal, or to skin it or anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna let him go, because I'm not equipped. So, you know what I mean? I never actually play a game where I had to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's mind-blowing. And then it makes you wonder, what would you do if that happened in real life? And I was just, there's no way I couldn't survive, I think.
I think I could. I'm pretty confident in myself.
I don't think I could. But where would you go? Are you gonna be like into the woods, or are you gonna be going
I'm already in the woods. Like, if this happened today, like where I live at on a mountain with like one neighbor, and I'm not going anywhere. I mean, the place I got, like, you can fortify this.
Okay.
And it's pretty hidden, especially in the summer. The trees cover up a lot. You can't even know this house is here. But we can a lot of food. Like, we're not preppers.
There's people that are still living down in a freaking bunker somewhere.
Look, I'm a little jealous. Some of those bunkers I've seen online, like on the documentaries that people are like living in, they're pretty sweet looking.
Yeah, but they're still down there from Y2K.
No.
There's literally people down there from Y2K. They think the world actually ended.
Yeah.
So that's how can you? They've wasted 20 years down there. Mm-hmm. Can you live like that?
Yeah, I mean, you're just not going to have what we call the social skills.
Oh my God. Can you imagine, like, well, it's like that movie, what's it called? 10 Cloverfield Lane, or, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I thought you were going to reference the Brendan Fraser blast from the past, and I was about to be like, get the fuck out.
No.
The movie's so realistic.
No.
I like his other documentary, The Mummy.
Oh my God. A documentary. But, like, look, let's do a scenario right now. Mm-hmm. Let's say right now we're doing this podcast, and both of our phones they start blowing up, like the news and people texting you like, "Where are you?" and "Hey, get to a safe place," or, you know what I mean? In all the chaos, what's the first thing you're gonna do?
Well, so I'm guessing then the phones are blowing up, so. The phones are still kind of running. Like, it probably wouldn't be long before the phones go down.
Yes.
Get calls out to my family if I can.
Okay.
Like my parents and my brothers and everything. But they all live kind of similarly. Like where my brother lives out in the woods, parents out in the woods.
So they're going to be a little safe. And
they're safe, and like we were all raised with the same mindset. Like we're not like, the government, we'll preppers, we make our own ammo. No, we don't want to rely on the rest of the world or the rest of wherever you're at, like, oh no, the power goes out and then you're just helpless.
Right.
The power goes out and everybody sits around and goes, well, better get all the milk and the bread. First of all, I'm not burning gas to go out and get the milk and the bread.
Okay.
I'm going to go out to my garage and turn on my generator that runs my deep freezer and my refrigerator.
Now, okay, so you don't know how long this thing's gonna be.
No, but I bought enough fuel too to last me. Was it 72 hours, 3 days? That's even in the CDC? Like,
But okay, but we're talking like this thing's gonna last like 3 years or something. You know what I mean?
I can build a wood gasifier.
Okay.
Where it's pretty much the slow smoldering of wood that creates wood gas, like that creosote, like when you burn a fireplace, and like the thermometer on my fireplace I have in the house, right? There's a certain level that says it's the creosote zone, which what that is, creosote will clog up the chimney, but it creates this wood gas in there that's highly flammable, and it'll build up and it can combust and explode.
See, I don't have that experience. You're talking Chinese right now. I have no idea what you're saying.
Well, we're talking about
so
it.
This is what I'm saying. I would completely 100% die.
No,
I will be that guy. I will be that one.
Make your way up to Sullivan Mountain, man.
Well, listen. That will be like that scene in the zombie movies to where you're hunting for something, then you start crying no, and people start asking you, dude, what's wrong? That's Mart'in, and I'll be like walking like brains, you know what I mean? Because I'm screwed. I'll be I'll be the first one to go.
I'll put you down. Don't worry. No,
thanks.
I think that might be a competition because my girl, she's a city girl.
Yeah.
And living up here, it's like kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
And I've often talked to her about this. Like we talk about, when the zombies come, this and that. And she's like, I'm just going to die. I said, no, you're with me now.
I think
I got you.
Yeah, I think if you want to live, you'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
But
we supplement our own power if we got to.
Right,
we can our own food.
So I will be the guy that's like out in the woods and just like living like a freaking caveman, and you'll be like playing your PlayStation while there's zombies out there because you have fuel that you made. You know what I mean? I'll be that guy with like dirt everywhere. You already showered like 3 times today.
Even if you don't have wood gasifier, you can make your own ethanol.
I don't even know what that is, but
it's pretty much ethanol is like. Lack of a better word, it's moonshine.
Okay.
Like
I do know
you have to distill it and create it, and you got to burn it off right, and don't drink it or you'll go blind.
We're just kidding, FBI. We're only joking. We don't know what moonshine is.
Oh, we know what moonshine is. There's nothing illegal about knowing what it is.
FBI. FBI, dude.
You're going to trigger the algorithm because you keep saying FBI.
Oh, my God.
I don't think the YouTube algorithm's looking for the word moonshine.
Well, I don't know. Because we're talking about zombies and moonshine and FBI. I think
there's 11-year-olds that talk about zombies all the time, though.
I wonder if they're bringing the zombies to Red Dead Redemption 2.
They were supposed to. Like, we talked about that. There's people that have seen them. I've heard them in the game while you're playing it. You're like...
Yeah. So let's do what if, let's say you're on a plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is an outbreak right there in the plane, and the plane goes down, and you wake up.
So I've survived the plane crash.
You survived the plane crash, yeah.
Because I had my seatbelt on and...
Yeah, but you're stuck in that seatbelt, and you can't get out of it. And everybody around you, they start turning. And you finally get free. What are you going to do? Are you going to put everybody down? Are you going to run away, try to get as far as possible?
It depends on the situation. Look, if I'm cornered, if I'm in the back of the plane and they're in my way, I'm going to snap somebody's arm off and use that arm bone as a shiv. I'm stabbing the brain.
Okay. All right. Well,
or femur. The femur would be stronger.
No, we're talking about. Hold on a minute. These guys are like fresh cadavers turning into zombies. You're not going to be able to snap that bone, mister. How are you going to snap it?
I'm going to find the old couple on the plane, the most brittle.
Oh, my God.
I'm always looking for a solution.
All right, well, listen, you break that bone, but that bone's weak. You're not going to kill that many zombies.
It's where you stab with the strongest part, which is straight on. If you whack them over the head, you might break the bone.
Now, I've thought about this many times. What if...
Or a pen. Somebody's got a pen.
I don't know if there's enough... I don't know if you can...
You can stab somebody with a pen.
To go through the freaking...
one of them good Bic pens? I mean, I could... Yeah, what do I got here?
I don't know if it's going to go through the...
Jetstream Uniball. Yeah, that'll do the job.
Huh. Anyways, what if...
I put a shiv up my butt. Keistered.
like the movie, what's it called? With Will Ferrell?
Get Hard.
Get Hard.
Daddy learned how to keister.
Anyways, what if there was actually an outbreak and that zombie just you know what I mean, like just wander into the woods and just to never be seen again and never found anybody to infect and just died. And then they found the body and just thought it was like a murderer.
Mm.
Have you ever thought about that?
Well, like the zombie thing happened, and then
Like there was actually a person that died
Mhm.
alone. Like let's say this guy lives in a cabin in the woods or whatever by himself, and he died, and somehow he just came back up as a zombie, and he just started wandering away into the woods, but never actually found. He never got his way. He never found a way out of the woods, and then his body started deteriorating to the point where he couldn't walk anymore, and then he just died. And just, you know what I mean? Just it was just bones. So there's nothing. The zombie's gone. It just evaporated. And then later on they found his bones, and then police were like, "This is a murderer," and you know what I mean. But they never could identify that it was actually a zombie. Have you thought about that?
I have not. That's
I have.
you definitely put some thought into
Oh
it.
yes. Oh yes. Because you never know. I mean, did it happen? Or what if Area 51 is just like they have a bunch of zombies there?
Mm. Yeah, about that Area 51 thing, wasn't there like a petition for everybody that was going to show up?
Oh my God!
There was like millions of people signed
They
up.
were
but
gonna raid. They were never.
there was like 40 people showed up when it happened,
They can't do
and
anything.
then I guess like the authorities showed up and told them to disperse, and they were like, "Okay,
All right.
yeah, we stuck it to the man, yeah."
Oh, all right.
Attention, I need you all to disperse.
But we want in there. I mean, we have to see the aliens, sir.
Please disperse. We will deploy chemical munitions.
Okay. We're just kidding. Hold on. Hello? Grandma? Grandma? Yes? Grandma, can you pick me up, please? I'm trying to get an Uber, but they won't come here. Okay. And we there's no aliens. We got in, totally kicked their butts.
So that's a tape from our friend Roberto. He went all the way down there, and he said he went all the way in there. There's definitely nothing in there. So there is, people, an exclusive. Nobody else has this news, and I know it's a little old, but we got it because it's got to go through a bunch of encryptions and all that. Because Roberto, our friend, he recorded this.
Rest in peace, Roberto.
Roberto, yeah. But the FBI totally didn't get to him, but
So you were talking about some of the things where you're like, I don't really know if I'd survive.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, I'll put you in on a little secret about one of the best plants out there. Yeah, like especially in this area.
Mushrooms? Yeah, I know.
No, not mushrooms.
Oh.
The dandelion.
The dandelion.
The dandelion.
Like the one that you just...
The household yellow flower dandelion, not household, but that yellow ass flower that everybody hates and wants to kill.
Yeah.
The dandelion is one of the most useful survival plants out there. It can be eaten raw. You can bake it. You can boil it. You can fry it. Of course, if you got enough, resources to fry something, I don't think you'd want to fry a dandelion. But you can eat the entire plant. The pulp inside the shoot or the shaft of the flower can be created into a glue. Like you can mush it up and make glue out of it. You can also take the roots. You dig a dandelion up by the root and dry it out in the sun. You can grind it up and make coffee out of it.
This is some Boy Scout knowledge that I never had. I never thought I was just stepping on him all the time, like on purpose. Like
delicious.
Hey, yeah, that's what you get, dandelion, for being prettier than me.
You ever seen that meme of the dandelion? It had like a flower, and the flower is sitting there going, "Oh no, the pH level of the soil is too bad. I'm gonna die." And then the dandelion's growing out of a sidewalk, going, "Oh yeah, concrete." Like,
no, I've never seen that, but
I'll put it up.
Okay.
The cat of nine tails that grows in like swamps and the ponds and stuff like
I
that.
have no clue. I'm telling you.
You can eat that like corn on the cob.
I don't even know what that looks like. But I'll be that guy that will be out in the woods and look at that. That looks like a pretty good looking apple. And it turns out to be like some deadly.
Like a nasty ass crab apple that'll give you the sugar all
See,
day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the apples out in my front yard in the tree, don't eat those.
Okay. Or like I didn't know we had poisonous blueberries. I didn't know that.
I don't know. There's poison blueberries. I know the red berries, like the birds will eat those. Most of the regular, like I got a red berry bush out front of the house. The birds will eat it all the time. But if you eat it, you'll get sick and they can kill you.
See, this is why I don't go out.
I mean, then there's like your old standalone poison ivy, 3 leaves, shiny on top. Don't touch.
Okay.
Because poison ivy sucks.
I should have been Boy Scout.
Look,
Thanks, Mom.
I got bored many years ago and pretty much read and damn near memorized the Army Ranger Field Survival Manual.
Ooh. Since we're talking about manuals,
Mhm.
my cousin Manuel. No, that's the different type of manual.
Manuel was
don't
also
get
at Area
excited,
51.
man. Don't get excited, Manuel. We're talking about different kind of manual. Anyways, have you read the Zombie Survival Guide?
I have not.
It is an amazing book. So I don't. Whenever I read it, I don't know if to take it seriously or like a good fantasy book. You know what I mean? Because he details everything. I mean, I'm talking like he's like telling you how to, kick a zombie in the face with like doing some damage and all this stuff. And it's just, there's so much detail there. And I don't know if he's trying to be funny but it's a good book. And it's actually, I feel like if you apply that, you pretty much survive.
It was like the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, actually has a zombie contingency plan.
Yeah, I know the government has
they said it was just it's a joke, but we're just gonna leave this right here.
It's here if you want it, but it's totally fake.
But there's a good book out there too. This guy's kind of a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, I believe. Wrote the book Patriot, but the one book he did the one book he did write was called How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It, which is, according to a lot of preppers, the synonym for it or the anagram for it is Teotawaki.
What?
The end of the world as we know it.
Oh
my
God.
I'm like, yeah, Teotawaki. I'm like, Teotawaki? I think I could say the other thing faster, but okay. But the guy that wrote the book was James Wesley Rawls, and I read that book, How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It, and his observations on like modern America and the way that we established everything, like how this country runs.
Yeah.
If something major were to ever happen, how screwed most people are.
If let's say we're gonna have the end of the world, how do you think we're gonna go?
What do you mean, like what scenario?
Yes.
My money's on a pandemic.
A pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
I think would be something astronomical.
Aliens?
Not come on.
You said astronomical.
I didn't put
or no, I'm sorry, I was thinking astrological.
Well, yeah. My tinfoil hat is in my backpack, so it's not on yet, so let's not talk about aliens. I'm talking about some physics thing, like you don't know. Like it could be, let's say right now the sun for some reason blows up. It's gonna take 8 minutes for us to figure it out, but
yeah, it'll get really hot and then
then
we're gone.
There's nothing we can do. It doesn't, even if we can go to Mars, there's no sun where you're going to die. It doesn't matter where you go. The only solution
look, if the sun goes, man, that's wiping out our whole solar system.
Absolutely. The only way to survive would be to go out into another solar system with, like a close enough planet, the same distance from our Earth to the sun.
The closest star system that we have right now, I believe on record, is Alpha Centauri.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
It's like 1.47 million light years, something like that.
There's no way we could. Elon, what are you doing, bro? We got to get there.
Oh, no, he's selling personalized flamethrowers.
Oh, my God. And like cars that talk to you.
We need FTL.
My goodness. But I don't know. I mean, I don't visualize us leaving this solar system.
Yeah, not in our lifetime.
No, well, definitely not in our lifetime. Well, I mean, technically we already did, but not like a person. We did it with the Voyager, the satellite that we sent out in like the 70s. It's got like that golden recording disc.
Mm-hmm.
That left our solar system.
That disc is apparently still playing and transmitting.
I don't know about that, but it's gone. That thing's gone.
Supposedly, it's like a golden record in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's playing. I think it's just there, and if they want to play it. But here's the thing: if it gets to any aliens, how are they gonna figure it out? How are they gonna be like, oh yeah, we totally know what this is. This is like an LP. Just play that on your.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They have no idea. They're gonna look at that and they're gonna be like. You know what I mean? And then the other guy's gonna be like, I have no idea what you just said, but
Was
You know?
you ever seen the movie Jodie Foster's in it and Matthew McConaughey? Contact. I was about to say First Contact, but that's Star
I
Trek.
love that movie.
All right,
dude.
and like they said, like the only universal or galactic language out there is mathematics.
Yes.
Like they established that
I believe
primer of
that.
numbers,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're able
So-
to communicate.
So yeah, they put that in that disk. They put some atoms and all that. But here's the problem, though. How do you interpret our mathematics? Because we see it in a different way than the actual mathematics. You know what I mean? Because okay, so 1 + 1, it's always going to be 2 or 3. I don't know, depending how drunk you are. But you know what I mean? The aliens might have a different symbol for 1. So how are they going to know what we're trying to?
That's why they have to establish the primer with like
Right, and
like
they
picture-based
and they try,
versus
right,
numeric.
and they try to do this with like atoms. They have a picture of an atom, which if this alien civilization is advanced enough to know what an atom looks like, because there's no way you can screw that up. An atom, it's an
Yeah.
atom.
Yeah.
They have that there, but how do you go from an atom to actually translating our words and let alone explain to these people how to play this record, because there's no way they're going to figure that out. And I've always thought about this, dude. I thought of a lot of things, but what if we are actually alone? There is that possibility.
There is, but just like in Contact, what do they say? Be a really hell of a waste of space.
Right. But there is that chance that we are the only intelligent species, because we could have like some rodents in some planet, you know what I mean? They're dumb as
I mean, they found
rocks.
bacteria on Mars.
Right. But
Frozen.
or what if everywhere else in the universe, life is just everywhere, and we haven't been visited by anyone or seen anything because we are in a certain part of the galaxy or the universe, to where we're so far away from everyone, but everywhere else, just like all kinds of races and aliens have met with each other, and they have this awesome, you know what I mean? And we're just isolated, and they haven't even discovered us. Or maybe they came thousands of years ago, but they saw like
Or maybe they're still watching us and they just look at us and go, no.
they're using phones.
They are not
These
ready.
people are retarded. You know, like they're using YouTube to watch other people. Ugh, dude, we can just talk with our minds. Or here's another one that I've never heard anyone talk about this. What if there is a lot of life out there, but we are the smartest ones they have ever been ever in the history of everything? There hasn't been another race that's smarter than us, and that never will be. Imagine
Imagine not.
that. I know, that's the
hope
present. Like there is life, and you know they can communicate with each other, and but they're not as smart. They're just a little dumber. You know,
Mhm.
like they have the highest, the smartest man that they have. It's like talking to a toddler or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the smartest man they have, and we're the smartest race to have ever been in the universe.
Yeah, that makes you think too, is what makes us the smartest out there, because I mean, you look at it in the grand scheme of things, like a cow. When a cow is born, it's just plop, lock, walk.
Yeah.
You did it.
You did it, cow.
And how long do we take to learn to walk? Like a year, 2 years? Like,
I don't know, but how do you define being smart?
yeah, how do you, like, they're
Because we're definitely smarter than cows, but it takes us a little bit to walk and or to say something.
Mm.
You know, how do you define what smart is? I think that you're smart whenever you're self-aware and whenever you can question stuff. That makes you smart.
I mean, you're talking about just basic sentience now.
Right. I mean, because like a smartphone, I don't think that my phone's smart. You know what I mean? Somebody programmed this, but it's not, my phone's not thinking like, I wonder what Martin's going to do next. You know what I mean? Or I wonder if he would like me to show him this random picture of a puppy for no reason. You know what I mean? My phone's not thinking that. I have to ask my phone. I have to trigger some reactions for my phone to do stuff. So my phone's not thinking. So that I don't consider, that's not smart.
No,
Now-
I mean, but there's like those algorithms out there right now just for like things that you look on, almighty Google box.
Well,
And
yeah.
if you, I mean, how many times
But here's the thing.
It's not, yeah, I mean, I'm
But-
thinking of it like when you look at something online and then you're browsing somewhere else on the web and then hey man, look at that, showing me deals on this because I was
Yeah,
just
but
looking
that's not.
that's just an algorithm. That's not intelligence.
That's not. That's the computer knowing that you looked for this, so they're starting to look for related stuff. But the computer's not thinking about it. It's just.
Unless
like
it was
I said,
those
the
Facebook
reaction.
AIs that they fired.
Well, that's a weird one too. But here's
They
my
shut it
other.
down after like 2 minutes.
So if you don't know, Facebook, they were working on some AI programming, and they finally they made 2 AI computers, and they start talking to each other, and everything was going so nice, and oh look what we created and all this, until they started talking to each other in a language that they invented themselves, like the actual computer.
They used English, but
it was encrypted.
It would be like truck, baseball, and they're like,
Yes.
oh, baseball, truck, fire truck. Like
it was. It
like,
was.
oh
it
my
to
god!
get
And
weird.
it started getting really quick too. They said
So Facebook, they
shut
it down, boys, and we haven't heard anything from. But I deep inside my mind, I think they didn't shut it down completely. I think there's still. But here's where I'm trying to go with this. It doesn't matter what kind of AI we build. It's still part of what we are and who we are, because the AI has to learn from something. So we created that. So how can the AI generate more knowledge than the knowledge that because the AI is getting knowledge from us. So how can the AI go further than our knowledge if we are literally the ones that made that AI? You know what I'm saying?
well, it's like
basically, how can that AI be smarter than us
when we created it.
when everything that AI knows, it's from us. Every single thing, all the mathematics, everything. It's getting that from the internet, and the internet, it's pretty much an extension of who we are and what we are and our history. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can find on the internet right now that is not related to human knowledge. Everything that's on the internet, it's got to be what you know what I mean. It's related to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody made that. Somebody thought about that. There's nothing on the internet that nobody has ever thought of. If you know what it's a little complicated to think about it, but
Yeah, like my brain is hurting right now, but I I understand what you mean.
It's hard to explain. Like basically, I don't care how smart the computer can get. There's the thought of a computer being smarter than us. I don't know. Maybe a computer has a lot of knowledge, and they can access that knowledge extremely quick.
Yeah, there's the difference though between accessing the knowledge and then it actually being able to solve problems.
Right. Like a chess computer.
But a chess computer is only programmed to solve the problems based within the parameters of the game.
Absolutely. But here's why they're so notorious for being pretty much unbeatable. Well, I mean, there's people that beat them, but a chess computer, they can do a bunch of scenarios I'm talking about seconds. They can figure it out, okay, if he does this, I'll do this. If he does this move, I'll do this one. A human, you don't have that capability. Maybe
They always wanted you to be 3 moves ahead of your opponent.
Right, but you can a human can think about a lot of moves they can do, but it's never going to be a computer. And computer's going to be immediately, pretty much. It's going to seem immediately that this is why they're so hard to figure it out, or to beat on a chess match. But I don't. In either way, all that knowledge, the reason that computer beat a human is because someone programmed the moves into that computer, the reactions, what to do if this and that, you know what I mean? Somebody made that computer.
Yeah.
And it's a collection of us.
Well, that's the crux of it lies when you construct something that you give that computer the ability not only to solve problems of like anything you might ask it, but allow it to continually find flaws in itself that it can then self-improve on.
I don't know. How
That's the
possible.
exponential fear. Like Bill Gates, who's now like the trillionaire philanthropist, like since he's no longer really a part of Microsoft. His biggest fear, like, and he has conferences on this, talking about the dangers of AI.
Elon Musk, he's got a fear with it too.
Yeah, and Bill Gates, I know was on record saying is like we need to slow down. It's like he said we need to slow down because there comes a point like right now, yeah, we're putting all the technology, all the thought, and all the answers that this computer can have access to, like the IBM Watson and stuff like that. Like it's an AI. It's a little they're talking about ramping up, like that slow ramp up that we have of everything that we're developing in AI, that we're going to reach that precipice, that pinnacle of how it is, to where we hit that moment, we hit that moment of advancement with AI, and it'll just take off by itself.
I can see that, but again, my philosophy or my problem here is, will it really be smarter than us? I don't think so, and here's why. Let's say the quantum physics, right? We're not even close to figuring it out. We know the basics of it, but we don't know exactly how it works and all this stuff. It might take us 100 years to figure it out. But then you have, and it's because, the way our brain works. We have to figure out a problem for this solution, or a solution to this problem, and then work it out from there. And it takes maybe a year to figure it out. Oh, this is not a good route. The problem is still unsolved. Now you have to go back to the problem and start with a different solution. And you already spent like 5-10 years of your life. Now you have to pass this knowledge to whoever's keeping this study or whatever you're doing. Now a computer, they can do how many math problems to this, or figure out how many solutions to this problem in, we're talking hours or maybe a couple of years, but they're doing thousands and thousands of, solutions for it, or maybe like variables or whatever, and they could figure it out in a couple of years. But me personally, I don't think that's a computer being smarter than us. It's just they're faster, and maybe they can figure out things faster than us. But where the problem with the AI is, that we're scared of just going out of control and just having a mind of its own. And
that's what I mean.
It,
like if it establishes that sentience or whatever. Okay, so the thing is with AI that I see it, that we have to worry about is an AI, unlike us being as a computer, it doesn't get tired. You don't need to feed it, anything like that. That's okay, whatever. It's a machine. But if you create that one that is self-aware, that can then improve upon itself, that's the difference between us and that, because we all see things in us that we need to improve on. I need to go to the gym more. I need to not drink so much scotch or whatever. Like, and what the most of us, I'm gonna do that. Like we procrastinate, or we'll make improvements for a little bit and then not so much. We'll slack off. An AI or whatever it is that is designed to self-improve upon itself, when it goes, flaw detected, let's fix it, fixed, keep moving on. Like, it's immediately going to improve.
Right.
Because the turnaround time on that is probably going to be instantaneous when we get to that level. For us, hell, I was like, it was before me and you really started working together, like years ago. I was 315 pounds. And it took me 5-6 years to pull my head out of my ass and finally start working out and dropping the weight.
Right. But
an AI sees a problem with itself, and it's going to go, yeah, let's just change this, change that, whatever we got to do. It's not going to take anywhere near as long as it does a person. And what do you see with most movies or anything like that that's, all based in truth or whatever? Anytime there's a problem and, something's going to happen, everybody scrambles at the last minute to try to fix the problem, but it's always too late.
If you have the chance, watch Transcendence. It's a movie with Johnny Depp. I don't know if you've watched it or not. So there's this, he's a computer scientist, an AI scientist, and he, I'm not going to spoil it, but pretty much he doesn't have very much time left, and he's trying to upload his consciousness to a computer, or pretty much it's so hard to explain. You have to watch
Sounds like
the movie.
Lawnmower Man. Have you ever seen Lawnmower Man?
No.
It's a movie from like the 80s, 90s about a guy like he was a lawnmower man, like he did lawnmower stuff, and he was kind of simple, but they plugged him in and made him, like, improved him with an AI and technology, and
okay.
Like,
well, this is
he plugged his consciousness into the net.
Okay, so this is kind of like that, but the issue with the movie is that they don't know if that's really him, or if the AI is copying his consciousness, and that's the problem. The issue, and they're trying to figure that out, and it turns out that just watch it, it's really good. But there's another one, Bicentennial Man, with
Robin Williams. That is a great movie.
That is a good movie. It's more in the feels type of side of things, but But it is a good movie. It'll make you think of what would happen in the future if, computers decide, hey, we're conscious, we know what we are, we
Mhm.
want to be human.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. We could be like, hey, I want to be a computer now. Upload
Did
me.
you just
I want to be a smartphone.
I identify as the Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. And I want to be a plus.
Why not? I mean, hey, we're in that day and age right now
I
that you
mean,
can, we can identify as whatever the hell we want.
I'm going to predict the iPhone 20 is going to it's going to have like a little fingerprint thing, but it's going to like poke you, right? And it's going to draw a little bit of blood. And then it's going to copy your DNA. And then somehow you're going to be able to switch with your iPhone 20. And now you can be the iPhone. With the new iPhone, you get to be the iPhone. And then the iPhone, the Siri is going to be your body. Siri's going to be in your body. So you as your phone, you can just put yourself like on a desk and you can just tell Siri, hey, go to work for me. And Siri will be like, yes. And you know what I mean? She's going to go to work and people are going to think it's you, but it's really Siri. And
Yeah, to be honest, I hope it doesn't get that bad.
what do you mean bad?
I think that's going to be bad.
I'll be
Like,
if I was my iPhone, I would be sitting.
Don't get me wrong. Look, here's the thing. We're all about, especially as Americans, as the level of the most convenient thing possible.
You're right.
We're all about that. I have a robot vacuum. I love it. I love that little disc that's out there.
You mean your slave?
Yeah, Sucky 5000. He has a name.
I wonder.
And I praise that robot when he goes by picking up all the dog hair. I'm like, good job, dude.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You walk by.
I sit there and I'm like looking at him while I'm enjoying a nice scotch, and I see him putting on by, and I'm like, good job, Sucky. Hey, I just got him new brushes
You
yesterday.
named him Sucky.
He's a vacuum. That's what he does.
Oh my God.
He sucks,
That's
but in a
horrible.
good way.
I wonder if in the future, probably we're gonna have like androids or something. They're gonna listen to this. They're gonna censor it. It's not gonna be anywhere in the YouTube.
I mean, we've been talking about the AI, so when this goes to YouTube, the algorithm is going to get pissed off at me.
It's gonna get offended.
I mean, this channel's never going to be front page YouTube. I've long ago come to terms with that, and the other channels I've done. But
You have no faith.
I like to consider myself a realist.
There's no faith.
Okay. No, wait. We got off subject with iPhone 20 here.
Okay.
Now, what I'm saying is, we as our people, and probably getting close to being the rest of the world, we're all about that convenience, and I'm all for convenient. Hence, Sucky 5000. I'm super glad to have it in my life, but I mean, right? Like you see how things are ramping up right now with like the other convenience things. Like I can go to Lowe's and already buy things online, and just they send a little kid in a vest out to pick it up for me. These phones I worry about. Because, I mean, right now, this is the best piece of surveillance technology known to man. I mean, it's got a 12-megapixel camera in the back and the front, fingerprint identification. It has a biometric scanner on it. And you just carry it around with you. And it's got really good microphones on it for listening, really good cameras for looking, and biometrics to know who's exactly touching it. So that's where we're at right now. By the time we get to iPhone 20, I don't even see it being a phone anything near what we're looking at. You're looking at, like, chip implants. You're looking at like what we started off with was the project known as Google Glass.
Oh my God.
Which they were bulky, they were weird looking.
Let's put a picture right there on the screen.
But right now they have the Alexa glasses. They're regular, look just almost like the glasses I have on my face, except it has Alexa built into it.
I've never heard of it.
It's a pilot program. If you go to Amazon, there's like startups that they have for all the technology that Amazon's doing that says, hey, you want to be a part of this, you can apply, give them your email or your account or whatever, and you can actually apply to do that. But down the road, I'm telling you, by the time like grandkids and whatever, like the next 2 or 3 generations here coming down the road, the cell phone isn't going to be something that we hold anymore. It's either going to be like a one-piece headset, like an earbud, or it's going to be some kind of implant or contact lenses. There's already contact lenses I've seen that were in development that can create an LCD display. It's all going to be integrated. Like, I worry about it for the negative impact that it can have, not only with like the phones, but the technology in general, making us a little bit lazier. I mean, the self-sufficiency that we have for when we have a disaster occurrence or something like that, that all the technology, all the self-serving stuff that we have is now useless.
You're right. Or...
and my hands have been going all over the room right now talking about this because I get a little passionate about it.
Well, I can see that. But it could be the other way around. It could be where because of this technology, now we have more time, and we could all be bodybuilders. Or, I mean, you know what? If we have this technology, we can enhance our bodies, so we don't even need to work out anymore.
Now that leads me into the next thing there when we're in this same topic, human enhancement. And I'm not just talking about get some Cialis and Viagra, so when the time is right. No, I'm talking about like human augmentation, like Deus Ex. Like, you ever played those?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. I mean, I have I don't know if I showed you my left hand here.
Yeah.
See that big scar that runs down the lifeline? This was all kind of blown up years ago.
Ooh.
Right. These two fingers are wired together. Like my thumb and index is wired together. And if I touch in between the thumb and index on my palm, it feels like somebody's rubbing the tips of my fingers.
Ooh.
Those were digital nerve implants that were done years ago. This hand is actually starting to fail. And I had to go to a specialist who said, yeah, in maybe 10 years, you might have it, but like my hand it's like a half-inch smaller. Like my left hand is a half-inch smaller in the fingers than the right.
Maybe,
and they said I might lose this hand.
Maybe in 10 years we already have like a cybernetic arm.
Well, I've already been looking into it. We have the myoelectric B Bionic, or the I hand. The B Bionic actually exists. It utilizes the existing muscles, like in my arm, to simulate everything for generalized hand movement.
Motions and stuff.
Like you move it. Like it actually will move like a real hand. Like the individual finger manipulation isn't quite there yet, but there's actually some people in, I don't want to say it's the University of Boston or MIT, but I actually watched documentaries on this because when I found that out, I started doing all sorts of research on it. I mean, you got guys in their houses that are 3D printing their own limbs.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, and they're doing that pretty much at cost. It's like families that don't earn very much, they buy a 3D printer. It's mainly for a lot of kids. Like there was a kid that developed and was 3D printing his own prosthetics for his own hand. That's
amazing.
And he color coded them to look like Iron Man and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
People are doing that in their homes. There's a Chinese farmer that builds like industrial grade prosthetic arms and hands for farmers, and he's a farmer himself, and like hammered one out of just steel with like a forge and bellows, and it's like a claw thing with a cable that's latched on the other half of his body, and he extends his hand, it pulls the cable, the claw thing he's got on the front snaps shut, and he uses it to work.
To farm.
I mean, the beauty of the human ingenuity is amazing. Like that's the positive, like for us to improve upon ourselves. I don't like that we got to rely on the technology to do things for us. I kind of romanticize a little bit and look forward to
you think
the application of technology to ourselves to improve upon ourselves.
Okay. So helping us out. Pretty much.
But the dark side of that people look at is you're going to have people start willingly like upgrade in quotes to themselves. Like, I don't ever plan on losing my hand. If it happens, it happens. Like if it ends up going the way that it could, I'll get the prosthesis. But if it lasts, I'm not going to be like, chop it off. Throw me a robot hand on there. Like you're going to have people do that. And when you do that, people start doing that willingly, it loses like pretty much its reason for being there. Like we established these prosthetics were established mainly for war veterans, like your guys that lose their arms and their legs, and the technologies come up, and mainly with some military funding to help those people return to normal lives. Because you got double, triple, quadruple amputees that can't feed themselves. Now they've come out with arms that link into the brain, that this guy could actually feed himself with his own prosthetic arms. Mm-hmm. And that's all well and good. I hope they continue that technology. But once you get to the point where people are voluntarily applying mechanical things to themselves for no
reason, yeah.
And there will be a reason to it, and the reason behind that will be style. People are going to do it to be stylish. Like they're gonna, did you get the new? Did you
get the new Arm 3000?
Yeah, the new iHand 2.97 or whatever. Because it's got LEDs in the fingers, and I can make my thumb and my pinky extend, and it turns into a phone. We're getting there, and again, it'll be the curse of the convenience. Just like people are going to be throwing away perfectly good limbs down the road for style. Don't get me wrong. Like, you see the movies and the TV shows and like anything Marvel related, like the chick that gets the bionic hand from Rand Industries or whatever it is the company. He's pretty much like Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
Gives her this hand. It's the latest in Rand tech. She's like punching through walls with it and stuff like that. Like that's okay. That's cool, but like we're not doing that with any of the prosthesis that we have yet, and I'm pretty sure that's a coming. Well, guys, it looks like we're all out of time here for this evening tonight. I'm River Sullivan, and with me yet again, as always, Mart'in.
Whoop, whoop.
All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, peace out.